Tried to fake food poisoning to get out of work. Forgot she posted brunch pics on Instagram.
So one of my coworkers called in violently ill on a Monday morning. She said she had bad sushi and couldn't even stand up without getting dizzy. Fair enough. Hope you feel better, right? But a few hours later, someone on our team checked Instagram. And guess who had just posted a full photo dump? From a bottomless mimosa brunch that same morning. We're talking selfies, avocado toast, captions like "when life gives you lemons, add vodka." Even a video of her cheering with friends in the background. She completely forgot that we all follow her. One of the managers even commented, "Glad you're feeling better." She came in the next day acting like nothing happened. HR definitely had a talk with her. Now her account is private. And somehow she only gets sick after 5 p.m. Calling in sick and posting brunch pics is bold. But forgetting your coworkers follow you is next level. That manager comment probably hurt more than HR. Lesson learned. If you're gonna fake it, don't post it. My coworker brought a goat to the office, and it actually stayed for a few hours. This happened last week, and I still can't believe it. One of my coworkers just walked into the office with a goat. Like it was completely normal. Apparently, they were borrowing it from a friend for some kind of project. But I didn't really get the full explanation. Meanwhile, the goat is just wandering around the office, eating random papers. And everyone's trying to stay calm like this is a normal workday. That's the kind of day HR is definitely not prepared for. 1 minute you're working, next minute a goat is eating your paperwork. Honestly, I'd never look at that office the same again. Coworker found me on a dating app and won't let it go. What do I do? I'm a woman working in a mostly male-dominated field. And I love my job. It's the best one I've had so far. But there's one issue. A coworker. Apparently, he came across my dating profile. Or at least, he claimed his brother did and asked if he worked with me, based on my job and location. I wasn't even at work that day, but once he found out, he made sure to tell pretty much everyone. At first, I didn't think much of it. But then I realized the way it was being brought up felt more like, wow, she must be desperate, rather than anything harmless. And considering I'm one of the younger people there, and one of the few women, it just made it worse. I figured it would blow over. But it didn't. He and a few others keep bringing it up, joking about it over and over again. It wasn't funny the first time, and it definitely isn't now. And honestly, it doesn't feel playful. It feels demeaning. On top of that, the same coworker sometimes gives me unsolicited comments about my appearance. I don't want to escalate this to HR, but I also don't want to deal with this for another year. I just want to enjoy my job without this constant nonsense. At this point, I'm trying to figure out what I can say the next time it comes up, something that will shut it down for good. That's not teasing. That's just disrespectful. He went out of his way to spread it, which says more about him than you. One firm shutdown would probably embarrass him more than any comeback. My coworker pretended to be British for 3 years, then forgot which accent he was using. This is one of those stories I wouldn't believe if I didn't see it happen myself. A few years ago, we hired this guy. Let's call him John. On his first day, he walked in with a perfect London accent. I'm talking full-on British news anchor level. Naturally, people asked where he was from, and he casually said, "Oh, just outside of London. Cool." No one questioned it. Fast forward 3 years. John fully leaned into being the British guy. He'd casually drop things like, "Fancy a Koopa?" and bloody hell, like it was second nature. People would ask him random correlated stuff, and he always had an answer ready. Some things felt a little off, but nothing crazy enough to call out. Then last week, during a completely normal conversation, it happened. His accent just disappeared. Not faded, gone. Full American. Someone immediately goes, "Wait, what happened to your accent?" And he just froze. Like his system crashed mid-conversation. He tried to recover with, "Oh, I've been here so long, it slips sometimes." But it was way too late. The damage was done. Turns out, another coworker found his old Facebook. And he's from Indiana. Never even been to the UK. Now HR is involved because someone reported him for basically faking his identity. I still don't know what to think. Who commits to an accent for 3 years at a corporate job? Have y'all ever seen someone lie that deep just to be more interesting at work? 3 years is not a phase. That's a full-time character. At that point, I'm less mad and more impressed by the commitment. Still, getting exposed like that is wild. Am I overreacting? My coworker has been filming me in what he considers in a jokingly way. I recently started a new job. One of my coworkers seemed really nice at first, even caring. But after a few weeks, something about him started to feel off. His kindness felt a little too intense, almost like there was something behind it. For example, he'd bring in food he made and offer it to people. But instead of it feeling generous, it felt like he was keeping track of it somehow. Over time, he kept telling me how much he liked me and how funny he thought I was. Then one day, while I was making him laugh, he asked if he could take a picture of me to send to his wife. I said yes, just trying to be polite. But after that, things got weirder. On multiple occasions, I've noticed him pulling out his phone and recording me while I'm talking. He tries to be subtle about it, but the way he angles his phone makes it obvious. Even once, when he randomly asked when I was getting a haircut, he pulled his phone out again like he was trying to record me. It makes me really uncomfortable. I know I should probably confront him, but I hate confrontation, and something about him just feels off. The weird part is, everyone else at work seems to love him. It almost feels like I'm the only one noticing it. And I can't tell if I'm overthinking it or if something's genuinely not right. That's not kindness. That's weird and intrusive. Recording you without clearly asking is a huge red flag. Trust your gut, because something definitely feels off here. Creepy older guy at work. I recently stopped talking to an older guy at work. He's basically around my dad's age.
The last conversation we had made me really uncomfortable. He kept pushing the idea of taking me out to dinner, then casually mentioned he'd actually prefer inviting me over to his place, but said he wasn't sure how that would come across. I mean, there's only one way that comes across. So I shut it down immediately, blocked him, and haven't spoken to him since. Later on, I found out he apparently has a list of people at work he's trying to get with, from managers to other coworkers, and I was just one of them. At that point, it went from uncomfortable to just straight up creepy. And what bothers me almost as much as the fact that he really thought he had a chance with me. That's just not happening.
That's not confidence. That's straight up creepy behavior. Having a list at work makes it even worse. You did the right thing, shutting it down immediately. My coworker had a Freudian slip in the restroom, and I'm still laughing about it. This happened a few days ago, and it's honestly just one of those awkward but funny moments. I was in the women's restroom and ran into a coworker I barely talked to. She's from a different department, and the only interaction we've really had is the occasional hallway nod. So, of course, we end up washing our hands at the same time. You know that awkward mirror moment where both of you feel like you should say something? Yeah, that. So I tried to break the ice and said, "Maintenance still hasn't fixed the restroom door." And she goes, "Yes, there's a problem with the Viagra." I just froze. Mid-hand dry. My brain completely stopped working. There was like a full 10 seconds of silence, and she didn't even react like anything was wrong. So I finally go, "Viagra." Now she looks confused too. And then it clicks. I realize she probably meant bisagra, which means door hinge. So I go, "Do you mean the hinge?" The second it hit her, her eyes went wide. And we both completely lost it. Trying to laugh quietly in a restroom is way harder than it sounds. My shoulders were shaking, and I was struggling to breathe. When I got back to my desk, I started laughing all over again. And now every time I see her in the hallway, we still just nod like nothing ever happened. But I'm definitely laughing on the inside. This story hits because we've all had those "I have no idea what to say" moments in public. That awkward pause, the brain freeze, and then the delayed laugh. It's painfully relatable. It's a reminder that small mix-ups can turn into the funniest memories.